Good evening, friends. Hello. Let's see. Everyone. Good evening on this beautiful day. So tonight I want to share with you a little bit about safer spaces and what they are and why I think they are so important. Because they are. So what is a safer space? It's on purpose that I'm not talking about safe spaces, because to me it's just like with sex, talk that happens about safe sex and people saying safe sex doesn't exist. There's always a risk. So let's call it safer sex. And the same goes for me for spaces. Let's talk about safer spaces. And safer spaces to me are consciously designed environments to practice life. Consciously designed environments to practice life. So those can be workshops, those can be retreats, and those can be something in between a workshop and life. And this is the one that I want to talk about, because at the moment there are so many workshops going on. There are so many workshops being offered, and workshops are amazing. Workshops are like the laboratorium of life. It's like I always say in my workshops, like, this is not the place to do things right. This is the place to just try things out. This is the place where you can, do what you never do and see what happens then. It's the safer space that we create with people holding you, people taking care of you. So just try something else than you usually do and see what happens. And I love that. I love creating those spaces and holding those spaces and consciously designing them, which means there are often rules to play by. There is a team taking care of people. There is an agreement field, like we all commit to certain agreements, to rules. I don't like the word rules because, rules is very much linked to fear, but agreements that we play by, like in cuddle workshops, that can be like no kissing, no sexual interaction. And so there's an agreement field, there's tea and chocolate, there is emotional care, and there's a start and an ending. So those are the safer spaces in a workshop setting. Another safer space that I absolutely love is like a play party, or, a play space. It's an amazing space where you can practice with what you learned. It's like the space between a workshop and life. It still starts together, and it has this safer space design, and then you can play freely, but you're still held, but you are free to play. And that's absolutely gorgeous. And last Saturday, I held one of those spaces again. It was a tantric temple play party, which means it's a held space. And contrary to what usually happens in society, where a lot is welcome, but sexuality is often excluded, there's still taboo. It's still in the shades in many spaces. What I love to create with these temple spaces, or these play parties, this tantric play party or kinky play party, is like, it's not an orgy. People always think it's an orgy. It's a very sexual space. Not necessarily. It's an open space that doesn't exclude anything. So this is a safer space. It's, there is holding. There is a safer setting. There is this beautiful venue that we'll find. So you're held by the building and by the team. And then everything's included, like drinking tea on the side is very much welcomed, cuddling, massage, but also sexual interaction is not excluded from the field. So it's a beautiful space to practice, and it's one of the safer spaces that I love to create. Like, yeah, you're going to hear this term of safer spaces more from now on. Like, I don't want to call it a safe space because it's not up to me whether you feel safe or not. Maybe you don't want to feel safe because, not feeling safe brings you just on the edge of your comfort zone. But we create this safer environment, so you can, you can practice life. You can jump into this laboratorium and just see what happens when you do things differently than you usually do them. Yeah. So I'm very enthusiastic about this, and I'm very motivated to create more safer spaces that are not necessarily just a workshop, that are not necessarily a lecture, because I so believe in embodied experiences. We can teach our brains everything we want to teach them, but until you feel it in your body, until you rewire your nervous system, nothing is sustainably changing. Nothing is very effectively changed. So I want to create spaces where people have embodied imprints. And it's what I've been doing. I'm doing that in my sessions where I give people embodied imprints. I do that in my workshops, and I do that in my play spaces. So whether it's a tantric play space or kinky, or who cares, it's a safer space for you to explore and to rewire yourself, and to not just be guided exercise by exercise, which is also very amazing. To me, that's the first step, to go to workshops and to keep going to workshops, because you are invited again and again and again to try something different. So please keep going to workshops if you are on this path of growth. I'm going to workshops all the time if I can. I just went to Bali for a whole month of following workshops. And I keep going to workshops as much as I can, because I'm being taught different ways. I know my ways. Let's try different ways. And then next to that, these play spaces, these free, safer spaces, are such a beautiful way, because there is, you can do your own thing, but you're still held. If you have a question or someone, if you feel triggered, there's someone who knows, because this safer space, we all voluntarily go into it. We all co-create the agreements by which we play. We co-create this safer environment. So we're all equally vulnerable. We're all equally vulnerable and equally present in that space. It's something we co-create. So yeah, that's what I want to share for now. That these safer spaces, these consciously designed environments that we co-create, are such an important tool to learn life, to bring that we learn in a workshop or in a session into daily life, because it's beautiful to go to workshops. Many workshops are not designed to change your life. Many workshops are designed to give you an exhilarating experience, that is an awesome experience in the moment, and you get a high, you get this oxytocin high, you get this workshop high, and then you go home and nothing really changed. So it's something I already try to design into my workshops, that you get tools that you take home so that your life does change. But then these safer spaces, these play spaces, are an amazing, amazing tool to actually really practice. Yeah, because you're not taken by the hand all the time. You make the decisions. And again, this Saturday, it was so beautiful to watch people play in this safer space. And they all were so beautifully raw by the end of the night. And the night was beautiful. And it doesn't mean that the night was easy. There were people being triggered. And there were people having a fucking easy time. And everything in between. And that's what I love. I want to see people raw. I want to see people experience life and do things they normally wouldn't do, or maybe that they do, but then with a different consciousness about it, so that they become aware, that they get the tools, that they integrate the tools, and that they really empower themselves to change their lives. So that's what safer spaces are. Safer spaces are consciously designed environments to practice life. And find them, co-create them, or join me in them. I love them. Sending you my love, and have a great evening. Speak to you soon.